right. Welcome back to another edition of the Deliberation Room. So, this is going to be a little bit different. I am going to shut my ass up, and I'm going to let the other boys take the front seat. I know it's different. It's a little bit different. I'm the host of this guy, but hey, look, you got to let the others shine, okay? Bello is making an inappropriate gesture into the camera. We're going to breeze over that. That's why we don't have a YouTube yet, but it's on the way.
We're not media trained yet.
Yeah, plug. Speaking of plugs, we have an Instagram. We have a Twitter that Paddy does not post on. We have a Reddit that should exist that does not exist because Bello doesn't know how to type. Plot twist. Follow us on those. Get over there. We wanna hear from you guys. We want you to tell us about ourselves. Very personal things. I don't know about these guys, but I want you to comment on our physical appearances in the comments. First off, shout out to G Swizzle Grace. I said I was going to shout you out. I might have to add it in post to another episode, but I am going to remember to shout you out on every single episode. She commented phalange on one of our TikToks. If you want a shout out for our last three, get on the TikTok. Make sure that you comment. We want to know that you listen to our episodes. Paddy also hosts a podcast, and it's about sports. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3-second plug, and go.
Football, beer, boys, fall.
Great plug. Get over there. It's called the 2-minute drill. It's really great. This guy knows ball. I hate to admit it. He can tell you. We've gotten into many arguments over college football.
Many.
They get pretty heated. We were screaming at each other at a table full of people yesterday. So, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna let the boys take the floor because we're talking about one of their favorite topics, golf. I'm not a huge golf guy, but you guys are huge golf fans. Actually watching golf, playing golf, different story. But yeah, I'll give you guys the reins. Take it away.
Today, we are talking about the Internet Invitational. A lot of talk right now in the golf community. You don't have to like golf to listen to this or watch the content. I'm putting that out there. It's long, it's a lot, so you definitely don't have to watch all of it. But even if you don't like golf, I think they did an excellent job creating this content, keeping it interesting, and including a wide variety of good players up to, I would say, fantastic players.
One of the players played in the Masters.
One of the players did play in the Masters. This is true. All the way down, though, to people who probably a lot like me. You know? So I'm appreciative of the range. But we'll start off with, what is it? So this is not a PGA Tour event. This is not an officially sanctioned, like, professional event by any means. It is put on by Barstool, Foreplay, and Bob Does Sports. You know any of those names. But they are all co-collaborators on this. Barstool being the main one. They're, I believe, putting up a lot of the money.
Dave Portnoy is putting up the money for the prize.
This is true.
How much is the prize?
This is true. I mean, in totality more, but the main
it's like
pot
1.4 million.
Isn't there a person who works for Portnoy, who works at Barstool, who was told that he would be able to participate, and then like last minute he was like, never mind?
Yes. Basically he was supposed to be Hank Lockwood, who was part of my take group in Barstool, was supposed to be part of the field. They get there, and there was a hot like girl that works at that golf course that's like a really good golfer, played in college, was doing all this, and then Dave Portnoy was like, oh, do you want to play in it? And she was like, sure. And he looks over at Hank, he goes, Hank, you're out, Lacey's in.
Dirtbag.
Literally like that. Literally like that.
Dave Portnoy's a dirtbag.
Not to defend David Portnoy, because I fucking hate that guy, but it was J.R. Smith was supposed to be in it because he's a huge golfer. He didn't show.
Yes.
That dude was supposed to be his sub.
Alternate. Yes.
And then he got switched out of the alternate.
Still.
Which is a big deal because it's talking about a chance to win $1 million.
Yeah, if you're telling me that I could possibly win $1 million and then you go, never mind, because this girl is hot and I'm a scumbag, I don't care if I lose my job. I'm going to hit you really hard, actually. So that's worth $1 million to me. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I don't know how much that guy makes, and pardon my take. Probably
he
a
makes
lot.
quite a bit.
Yeah, probably a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah.
He's the producer of Part of My Take, and they make a lot off each episode.
I believe that.
But yeah, so this is like a huge event. It's a couple different formats that they did, and it's like a 6-episode series on YouTube if you want to watch it. I think they're on episode 5 right now. So it's not done. It is not done. We don't know who wins everything. But there are going to be spoilers in this if you do want to watch it. However, I do think spoilers aren't the worst thing in this because it's pretty quick to understand what's going on. It's being held, by the way, at Big Cedar Lodge, which is a massive like golf and outdoor resort owned by Bass Pro Shops. And it's got some really famous courses. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paddy. Like I think Paynes Valley is there.
There's some gorgeous courses.
Yeah,
Big Cedar, it's a good courses.
Yeah. And what we're going to talk about today is the controversy. So we're going to start with episode 1. They did a really, really good job with how they coordinated this. That they had everybody, I believe it is like
48. It's 48 people. They split it into 2 teams of 24. Everybody originally votes for a captain. Those captains then do a snake draft selecting players from certain tiers. So basically they put everybody into a certain tier so that everybody understood the skill level of every person. And then it was 9 holes on the first day of best ball or scrambles, 2v2 scrambles for Ryder Cup style points. So if you beat the team that you were playing, you get a point. And then in the back half of the day, it was same format in terms of Ryder Cup style, but it was alternate shot. End of the day, team with the most points advance. Those 24 advance. The other 24 are eliminated from contention. And then basically they did that again where they split the 24 into 2 teams and then so on.
Yep. And I'll tell you, the process of them picking players, like picking captains is fantastic. And I'll also say this, there's some people not properly ranked. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, for
sure, yeah.
Chazzy
was not properly ranked.
Dude, Chaz, absolute dime. And they had him in like B tier. And he may have been the guy that changed the whole tournament. Yeah. So definitely some weird stuff going on there.
He's 4'5".
Yes.
Wait, are you serious?
Doesn't miss a fairway. Doesn't miss a fairway. Hits at 250. Doesn't miss a green. Doesn't miss a putt.
He, I believe, is like one of the top, if not the top player on the adaptive tour.
He is the top player on the adaptive tour.
Yeah. Like, he's absolutely bananas.
He's gross. He's absolutely gross.
Yeah. But we're going to get into the back and forth. So episode 1, they pick the teams. It's a huge deal. And we've got a creator that I'm actually a fan of, Luke Kwan. If you know him from Good Good, he used to be on Good Good back in the day. He now has his own solo channel. And he gets picked pretty early on because he currently is competing on the Asia Tour. I don't believe he has a tour card, but he gets invited to events all the time, and he does well. He might have a tour card, though. I'm not sure.
But I think he just won an event over in Asia.
Yeah. Like, this guy is not just on, like, getting invited to events because he's famous. Like, he's winning these events. He's making cuts. Like, this guy is
Luke Kwan is very good from my understanding.
He's very good.
I'm very familiar with Luke Kwan as a former Good diehard. I've fallen off, but that's just a time thing. Still great content.
Yep. And basically he gets, it's a scramble style for the first part of the first day. So when they're picking teams, they're like, oh, okay, we're going to get someone who's really, really good. And then we can kind of put them with someone who's bad depending on the matchup. So that way that bad person, kind of doesn't get utilized and doesn't have to like get fucked over playing later on. And it was a specific team. I believe they were matched up against Frank Borelli and Bubby from Good Good. And they were like, oh, Luke can solo those 2 guys scrambling. So we'll put this guy who's, I think it might have been the last pick, PFT from, is he?
He was one of the last picks. He's from Part of My Take. He's one of the 2 anchors.
I wasn't sure which one he was. I know he's on one of those shows.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the last two picks are like, perfect, we're gonna put him with Quan, and then Quan's gonna solo those two guys, and if PFT can help him read putts, like, easy. Well, next morning, they start teeing off. You're looking at this resort, by the way, and it's beautiful. You see all these guys on the range, they're all having breakfast. There's a Dunkin' Donuts on the tee box.
It's sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, so they have like custom Dunkin' like halfway houses throughout the entire course.
That's savage.
Like literally, you're pulling up to the tee box, and it's so funny. There's a drive-through like window microphone that you're like,
Yes.
yeah, can I get like 2 donuts and like a nice coffee?
And then
then
it's
you
like
move
2 feet.
2 feet forward and grab it. Hilarious.
That's badass.
People start teeing off. Quan's tee time is 9:30. They're getting to the 9:10 tee time, and they're like, hey, where the fuck is Luke Quan? Like, we didn't see him on the range. We haven't seen him up yet. Like, where is he?
Mind you,
And slowly-
he slept through a video that he was making the previous morning.
Yes, he literally showed up late to a video he was supposed to shoot. Finally, it's getting towards 9:30, and his partner PFT is shitting a brick. He's like, where the fuck is this guy? And he is not there. Finally, they say it's time to tee off. Luke Quan is not here. And they start deciding on what the punishment is going to be. Because when you miss your tee time, obviously there are rules and regulations around this. Meanwhile, Mason from the oh man, what's their YouTube channel? They got a great one too.
It's him
I can
and
find his
Cole.
name. Mason Nutt, yeah. I forget what their YouTube channel is,
Mason
but
what?
if you look them up, Mason Nutt.
Sick.
Great content.
I
It's like,
really like their
fuck.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I literally am sharing a lodge with Quan. They're like, why didn't you wake him up? And he's like, oh, because I woke up at like 6 a.m. Like I'm like that. Like so I'm not going to go and wake him up if he doesn't want to wake up at 6 a.m. But basically breaks into the lodge and goes, where the fuck are you? Quan, they are teeing off, and Quan is asleep in bed with his AirPods in. And his alarm just did not wake him up. And they have video of him in his underwear getting changed. And they're like, you need to fucking go.
The contract must have been a nightmare. They're like,
Oh,
dude,
man.
what? You slept through it?
Yeah.
And dude,
Can you
it's
imagine?
not like he's a
for
young guy. He's
$1.4
in
million.
his 30s.
Yeah.
$1.4 million. And this guy missed a 9:30 a.m. tee time.
I don't think that I've actually overslept needing to be somewhere since like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, literally, I think that's the only
The
time
last time I truly did it, I was 22.
Yeah, like it's been a long time since I genuinely slept through something important, or like even overslept and been like a little bit late to something. Like, it just doesn't happen anymore. So that's crazy that this much is on the line, and he's like, whatever. He's like, fuck it.
Well, that's the thing. They get him to the tee box. They were discussing the penalty. Dave Portnoy was like, he should be disqualified, all this stuff. And then they finally settle on because it's match play. So they're like, okay, he can rejoin at the 5th hole, because then he would have to win, or after the 5th hole.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean they would have to win every single hole from there on to win the match. So it's like basically like, hey, if you think you're that much better than everybody, go do it. And he gets the tee box, and everybody's like, dude, like, what are you doing? He goes, doesn't matter, I'll still win. Like, it's fine. They're like, do you want to appeal like the suspension or anything? He goes, no, it's fine. Like, doesn't give a fuck. And I know Bello's gonna say that like it's part of like who he is, and like he'll get into like who Quan is as a person, but like I think this guy is an arrogant prick. I think he it ended up not costing them directly winning the entire thing, but their team did get eliminated in the end. And
Rip.
I just like Ryan Whitney, who's a former NHL player, he's part of the Spit and Chicklets podcast on Barstool, wanted to kill this guy. Like they get in for like the midday, like after the first 9 holes, and he's going, "Look at Quan, everybody, walking in. I bet you feel real good about yourself. Yeah, no, you're a big guy, missing a tournament, like all this stuff." And then like at the end when they're about to get eliminated, he's like, "I could kill this kid. Like I could kill this guy."
Yeah, it is. It's a tough scene. I'm not gonna like defend him outright. I will say you're watching it and it gets to a point where you're like, Jesus Christ, man, like this guy's gonna go kill himself after. Like, please, like leave him alone. Like you can tell, mind you, I do think his reaction to it was bad. All of his reactions are very like, oh, not that it doesn't matter, but it's very like laissez-faire, like, oh, you know, like it happened. Like the quote is Dave Portnoy was like, "You're getting a 4-hole suspension. Do you want to appeal it?" And he's like, "No, because in real life I would have been DQ'd immediately. So I'm not going to complain about a 4-hole loss." And they're like, "So like, do you not feel bad?" And he was like, "I wish I woke up." And that was tough.
Yeah, I'm between like a rock and a hard place because like obviously being completely separated from it and also just liking Luke Kwan from what I understand like about him from the past. Like I almost like the swagger of it where he's like, "Fuck it, we're gonna win anyway." Like because I think all like strong.
It'd be cool if he did it.
Yeah, like all really good athletes are like that is bad. But yeah, like
he didn't even win 1 hole.
It's like costing your teammate too is real bad, and just being like, yeah, whatever. Like that's the part where I'm like, okay, this guy's kind of a prick. But I think all high level athletes are like that. Like, yeah, I can do anything. Like they're like, I got this in the bag.
I don't disagree, but the first swing, he's talking all this shit. He's talking shit to his partner during the holes that he's suspended on. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna make that. What does it matter anyways?
Yeah,
can we just skip to the 5th hole?" He's like, "Can we just go to the 5th hole? It doesn't matter." And then the first swing on the hole that he can play, they don't even take his shot.
That's bad. You can't.
It's like,
you can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't do all that. Miss the tee time, talk shit, be an asshole, and then do that on the first hole that you can play.
Yeah,
dude. If that was me, and there's some people that had to really fight to get into this tournament. Like this is something that people wanted to be in. There's a lot of golf content creators out there. This was not an easy thing to get into. And you're telling me you're on his team and you're all excited. You go out and win, and that's what that dude does. I would be livid.
Yeah.
I would be so angry.
That would
like this is a shot of a lifetime. Like it's life-changing money. It's a life-changing moment for you to potentially get your like name out there. If you play longer, you get more episodes and more exposure. And that's what this guy does because, oh, he doesn't give a fuck? No, dude, that's crazy.
Yep.
So, some things against and for him. I feel bad because I had hand up accountability, admit this. I am an oversleeper. I don't think I miss a lot of things, but I am late to things sometimes if they're early in the morning. But 9:30 is crazy.
Yeah, to miss a
9:30 is crazy.
Like usually when I'm late for something, it's like an 8 a.m. or a 7:30 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, like I gotta get up real fucking early for that.
If you're an adult and you don't wake up before 9 o'clock, that's crazy to me. Like even heavy sleepers, like you're awake, you just choose not to get up or like you go back to sleep. Like if you don't wake up before 9 o'clock, but then again, a lot of like influencers and stuff, like they're like, I work every day and I work weekends and stuff. I work from 9 to 3 and then I just kind of like vibe out and you're like, what?
I don't doubt that being a content creator and an influencer has its stresses. You don't have guaranteed paychecks. You have to work weekends. You have to do things. But like, end of the day, you are getting to presumably do what you love to do. Like, if I was a golf content creator, I would never complain about a thing in terms of doing that. That is everything that I would love to do. Would there be times it would be stressful and hard? Yeah, but I can't complain because I'm going out and playing golf. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then now to say that he missed it, 9:30. He's also staying on property. It's not like 9:30 tee time, but it's like a 45-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
So another factor. Walk.
No, he's right there. He's right there. Now, I will play devil's advocate and defend him for a handful of things. But before we start that, there also was a fucking hilarious moment where Bob from Bob Does Sports is the captain of Luke, the team that Luke is on. And they're telling him, they're like, dude, he's not here. He's not here. And he's like, what the fuck? So they all start roasting him and they start talking to Bob. And they're like, dude, 9:30. How do you miss a 9:30? And Bob goes, dude, I was up at 6 a.m. doing cameos, but it's not about me. It's not about me.
But it's not
it's
about
fucking
me.
Awesome. That guy does cameo. I think it's like $100 or something. He'll do like a
He's
30-second
hilarious. If you don't know his content, man, go watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah. But to defend him, he flew directly from, I think, Norway to Big Cedar Lodge to play. So he wasn't on his time, regardless an alarm, but he was not on his time. And he was contractually obligated to be in Norway by one of the people that sponsor him. So he had no other choice. He had to be there. And on top of that, in terms of like talking shit to his partner, if you watch his content, he does do that. He has a whole apology video that I actually watched on this. And his mentality is very like, dude, don't stress about golf. If you're sitting over a putt thinking, I have to make this for $1 million, I have to make this for $1 million, you're never going to make it. So it's better to say, I'm not making this, and just walk up and putt it. So that's kind of like what his philosophy was to his playing partner, to hopefully win one of the 4 holes or at least tie one so they had a little breathing room.
That's could be your philosophy when you're there on time. When you're not there on time, I think you got to change it up, buddy.
Yeah, or just shut the fuck up. Like, just don't say anything at that point. Like, yeah. I mean, the guy's clearly not that good. So, like, why are you, like, making it even worse? And then to Patty's point, then you go and lose? Like, that is like, the viewers may not know this. Well, you wouldn't know this. But me and Paddy are a great beer pong team. We're very, very solid at beer pong. We talk a lot of shit. Everybody who comes up to the table, they know that we're going to chirp them. But we also win a lot. And there is not a worse feeling than when we chirp a bunch of people and then lose. Because then it's like, it's coming back tenfold. They're like, you were talking all that shit and you got beat. Like,
gotta back it up, man.
Yeah, you can't go out there and be flopping. Like, you can't go out there and immediately lose after talking all this shit. I will say we got 6 minutes left. This is a mini-sode. I have to keep us on track because then the viewers, they'll be like, oh, this is just another podcast. You might as well just do the full podcast again. No. It's
what
different.
We do every week.
It's different.
I know. Finally, there's some other things to talk about as well, because this is some other pet peeves that I have when it comes to sports, especially team sports, is he missed. I looked up the ruling, and it's unsure, but the ruling is if you're late, there's always going to be some sort of penalty, right? But if you're within 5 minutes of your tee time, you get I think it's like a 1 or 2 hole suspension, not 4. If you're more than 5 minutes late, you're DQ'd. I don't know how late he was. I think they had teed off and were going to their balls when he got there.
They were at the green.
Were they?
They were at the green.
I thought they were hitting approach shots when he pulled up. They were past their
second shots.
Got it. So it seems like he may have been longer than 5 minutes late, which would have been a DQ. And I think that's why he was very much like, yeah, like in real life, I'd be DQ'd. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, don't give me a 4-hole suspension. That's fucking bullshit. He knew, like, I'm kind of getting lucky that I was this late and I'm only getting a 4-hole suspension. And I will say this too. They do lose. That team loses at the end of the day. But they lose by 2 points. And Kwon won his afternoon tee time. And so a lot of people that are talking shit, I kind of think it's BS because they're like, oh, what about the mental? What about the mental that he caused? It's more than 1 point.
It is.
Play your game, man.
It is.
I'm the opinion of player game.
It's a totally different strategy.
But the teams are decided. Like you're already like what strategy?
The teams aren't
decided.
They changed the teams in the afternoon. Like they changed the pairings.
Oh yeah, so they do change the pairings because they switch in the afternoon. It goes from best ball to alternate shot. But the strategy was going to change regardless. Like no matter what the strategy was changing. I maintain that they did a really big hoorah speech with what's his name? The coach that was
Coach
in there.
Gruden.
John Gruden.
Man.
Gave an awesome
what a hoot.
halftime. Dude, you got to go watch that halftime speech where he's like, everybody stop talking shit about Kwon. We're in this shit together. We can all get mad at him or we can go and fucking win. It is awesome. And they come out and put on a hell of a show. They were down by a lot and they brought it to almost tie.
It was
in
great
the
content.
Afternoon.
It was very, very
great
good
content.
The format itself, man, is props to the way they did it. It was very good.
Yep. I think it came out great. And so that's why I, after all this, agree. Luke Kwon's a fucking idiot. He absolutely should have been to his 9:30 a.m. tea time. But I am of the mind that it didn't matter in the end, especially because I actually think in the afternoon they did better because of how they rallied around him and were like, stop talking shit to each other. We have to get, like, you got to go win $1 million.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't control the other matches. You can control your match. So, Kwon lost his match, but everybody else also lost their morning match. And I think that's real bitch shit to be like, I lost because Kwon wasn't here and it messed with my mental. Bro, you also lost your morning match. Like, come on.
I will say,
like, it's not all on him.
I think this, to me, highlights a major difference in, like, the way that, like, team sports versus individual sports, like, form your, like, mentality. Like, I think about, like, F1 drivers who are like, I'm on a team, but really at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to win. And, like, that's all that matters. Or, like, tennis players or, like, golf players. They're like, yeah, cool, rah, rah, like, all that shit, but it's just me. Versus, like, say, the guy who was on an NHL team or, like, a football player or, like, a baseball player. Like, if you, like, it's drilled into your head since you're, like, in Little League. Like, if you fuck something up, the entire team is punished because of it. And so you, like, internalize this need to always put the team first. You're like, we got to do this for the team. But there are a lot of athletes out there who play those individual sports who are like, fuck the team. Like, the team and winning shit, I'm going to win it. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. And then somebody else, if you lose, that's on you, to Bello's point. I think that's that thing of, like, the mentality of athletes who only have to rely on themselves is totally different. So, like, it makes perfect sense that Luke Kwon was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares? Like, the same way that, Bello, you'll know this, like, Max Verstappen, the F1 driver, if he, like, locks his brakes up and plows straight into the side of your car and takes you out of the race, he's going to be like, that guy should have got out of the way. Like, if he had gotten out of the way, then we would have all still been racing. Like, they just don't think in terms of, like, how does this affect other people? They think about it like, I'm the best. I'm going to go out there and be the best. If I fuck it up, then, like, that is what it is. People make mistakes. Now, if you fuck something up, they're going to be like, I would actually like to kill you. But it's like, so like I said, I think I like that swagger. I like the sports where people are like, I'm going to go and win this. But I think as a person who played team sports, as a person who understands that mentality, it is so shitty to realize that there's nothing that team could have done to get him there on time outside of that guy waking him up. But that's, like, not his responsibility. So it is, like, so interesting to hear, like, the different, like, viewpoints on it. Honestly, Bello's coach was cussing him out in middle school for going to Universal Studios. So it does make sense that he's like, you know what? Yeah, this wasn't his fault. But yeah, like, it's so interesting being on the outside. And honestly, you guys are making me want to go watch this because it seems very interesting.
It's great.
Fantastic, man. Like, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube golf. Like, I'll watch TikToks that I come across with people, but I'm not going to YouTube and watching, like, full, like, 40 to an hour long videos. Mm-hmm. This is, like, the first episode's like 3.5 hours. and I was locked in for the entire 3.5 hours. This, like, I've watched all 5 so far. I just finished the 5th episode going into the finale. Like, it has been interesting the entire time, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I truly think that this is the start of another league. Ooh. And I'm just going to say, I think this is going to be something that Barstool, Bob Does Sports, Foreplay starts up, and it's going to be truly content creation. And it'll be similar to this, where they get everybody together. Skill level doesn't matter. Prizes are different, like all that. But I do think that they're going to do this more consistently because of how successful this has been.
Jury of your peers team, 3-person scramble / best ball. Maybe one day.
There we go.
I do have 2 notes. A, you mentioned earlier that guy waking him up. It was actually very funny. In the thing, Dave Portnoy's like, wait, you woke him up for this? No, he should go back to bed and wake up naturally, and that's when he can jump in. You guys said, why did you disturb it? That's bullshit. A. B, the fact that Jury of Your Peers was not invited to the Internet
pretty fucked up,
is just
pretty
ridiculous. I mean, like...
There's one good golfer and one guy who can drive it far and one guy who has great approach shots. We would have a chance.
Who's the guy that hits great approach shots?
Oh, I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah.
Good golfer and approach shots was me.
Got you.
Yeah, Paddy, take 2 of the boxes. All right. Well, I think we've all come to the same conclusion. You guys should follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and you should interact with us.
Maybe we'll do something like this.
Maybe we should. We do have several cameras floating out in the ether, from my understanding.
The Jury of Your Peers Invitational to win a PB&J.
Ooh, I like that.
Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Hold the J, though. We can't afford it. You get one peanut butter, and that's it. Peanut butter and bread.
And one piece of bread folded in half like a hot dog.
Yeah, and you have to split it with your whole team.
You don't get to, yeah.
The golden PB. But follow us, interact with us, email us, listen to 2 Minute Drill. It's a great podcast. And, maybe one day you'll see us out there and we'll get to sell Dave Portnoy to his face that we don't like him. And then go win $1 million. That's the
true.
dream.
We want to get invited.
You guys can help us go tell Dave Portnoy to fuck off. That is what we all want. And, we'll see you guys again pretty soon. Not super soon, but something tells me that the next episode of Deliberation Room is going to be pretty special. It comes out on a very special day. So we'll see you guys again soon. Bye, guys. Wave at the camera, guys.
Bye.
Bye.